Hey guys, what's up? It's Samantha, and today I am doing the memory keeping spread for the first week in February, which was the week of PlannerCon, and also the week of Joe and I, like our 7-year dating anniversary, which just blows my mind. But yeah, we started dating February 28th of 2012, and you know, winter in Ohio, you always need more things to celebrate, so I still keep track of it, which is why I wanted to do this sort of romantic, more Valentine's Day kit that I had from Scribble Co. I thought it worked really well for like an anniversary or a date night out and didn't scream necessarily like Valentine's Day. I pulled in a ton of red foil, both from Rose Color Days and then also from the Ruby Slippers Wiggle. And then I also used the Once More With Love collab Simply Gilded washi because it had this gorgeous red foil bow and it just worked out really beautifully with this kit. I did use one gold foil overlay for the quote box, which is from a Scribble Co. freebie that says like loved you then, loved you still, always have, always will, which I thought was perfect for this week, and gold and red go together, so you know, whatever. But the two things I marked, I guess I'm doing my full boxes first. Never mind, this is the second time I'm doing this voiceover, so you would think I'd know what I was doing in this video, but I'm not. I almost didn't even film this. This is a very, very short plan with me. I was just not feeling it this week, and I ended up leaving PlannerCon early, which I'm sure y'all know, which in retrospect, now I know it's because I was starting like a massive lupus flare-up, and I think my body was just like sending me all of the warning signs that I needed to get home ASAP, because I think I knew like stuff wasn't right. The last 2 weeks have sucked for me. I have been so sick, and I haven't really talked about it much on social media just because I haven't had like a lot of energy to talk about it, not because I'm like hiding it, but I've been in like the middle of the worst flare-up I've had since I started having symptoms back in October, and I've just felt like absolute trash. So, you know, it happens. But I'm still learning what my limits are, what I can and can't do. And I think the amount of unease and unwellness and anxiety I was feeling in San Francisco, and before I even left, I was feeling that. I think that was my body telling me that it was too much for me right now, because it was too much for me right now. And also that I was heading into a not good period of time. So, you know, whatever, you live, you learn, and then I apologize, my husband's whistling really loudly in the background, so sorry if you can hear that. And then the deco on top, I did like this. I don't know, there was like a lot of really small pieces. I feel like I decorate better with like lots of medium-sized pieces and then a few small pieces, and this was like a ton of like fiddly little bits, and sometimes I get grumpy with fiddly little bits. I feel like this whole spread, I was just like not here for it. I was like, I'm not even sure if I really want to film this. Like, I don't even know like how I feel about this, whatever. So I'm sorry if this is the most apathetic plan with me that I've ever filmed. It's by far the shortest. So, yeah, but the, blah, 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 what was I saying? I don't know. But this was just the one positive thing this week is I finally started Queen of Air and Darkness. I ended up buying it because I already had pre-ordered the physical book, and I'd used an Audible credit for the audiobook. And then I also got the Kindle edition. That way I could take it on my Kindle. I bought a Kindle this week, which was like, I guess, like a really cool thing because I've never had a Kindle before. And so I pretty much got it so I can read ARCs, like advanced copies, digital advanced copies on something other than my phone screen, which was really impractical and driving me nuts. But we'll get to that. So Monday, Joe was on call and I had work, and I did get a new video up. So I used a Mandy Dreams glitter film slate to mark that. And then I used a stack of books from the Ruby Slippers Wiggle to mark that I requested all of the arcs. And I have actually been getting through them this time. And while I was like down for the count, a Kindle is way easier to hold than a book. So when my hands were hurting and stuff, I could just like leave it on my lap and not have to worry about it closing like a physical hardcover book would. But on Monday, I had an order from Amazon come in, and then I went to dinner with my friend Noor, and that was really fun because we hadn't hung out in a month or something, maybe more than a month. And then I came home and listened to my audiobook, did my puzzle, had a glass of wine, had some popcorn, and it was, you know, just perfect me time. And then Tuesday I had work, and I got my Amazon package, which was my Kindle, which I was very excited about. And I was just feeling really, really blah on Tuesday. Like I had no energy. I was dragging so hard. And this was like this was the beginning of the end. Like from here, it's just all downhill, guys. Like the next 2 weeks is just like me being like a total shit show. So buckle up, because the next few Plan With Me's are going to be like depressing AF. So get excited for that. But I got to set up my Kindle, which I was very excited about. Like I said, I've never had a Kindle before, so I got a Paperwhite. And then I chilled on the sofa and read like one of the arcs, because I was just so excited to read an arc on a screen bigger than my tiny little phone. And then I ended up moving to the dining room, and I was listening to, this is the week I was finishing up the Daughter of Smoke and Bone audiobooks, and I did my puzzle, and maybe I finished the audiobooks. No, I think I finished them before I went to San Francisco. I can't remember though, but I was definitely listening to them this week. Moved to the dining room to listen to that and have some wine and do my puzzle. And then Wednesday I woke up and I felt like utter shit. And I tried to film a bookish video, but I had no energy and it was showing, and so I gave up, and I was supposed to go to work, and I went to work for an hour because I had to fill out my time card and answer some emails and like do a couple things because I was going to be gone for 6 days. But I had a fever and I felt, like I said, like just complete and utter shit. I should have like just canceled the trip to San Francisco on Wednesday, but I didn't, because I was like, I really want to go. This is supposed to be really fun. And I wanted to push through, and I still haven't learned my limits, and but yeah, Wednesday I came home and crashed on the sofa and did a YouTube binge, which is what I do when I'm really not feeling well. And then that night I read and had tea. I love those like paper and milk reading with the teacup stickers. They are perfect for my life. Thursday, I had the day scheduled off work. I chilled out in the morning. I finished Enchanté, which I finally got to read a fantasy book set in Paris that wasn't awful. That was all I wanted out of 2019, and I got it. It was actually a pretty good book, so definitely check it out, especially if you're into historical fiction. It's more like historical fiction than there's like fantasy elements, but like you have to like historical fiction to like that book. It's like more heavily historical fiction than fantasy, if you know what I mean. And then Thursday night, Joe and I Grubhubbed or DoorDash or whatever, one of those things, and got tacos delivered from a local place, and we just chilled out together and like had a couple drinks, and I did my puzzle, and we went to bed super early because we had to get up at like 4:00 in the morning to go to the airport. But I went to bed at like 8:30 and 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then woke up at 12:45 and could not fall back asleep. And I was freaking out, like I was physically shaking, and like I really just think like I should have listened to my body and like not gone. But I was like, oh, once I get there, I'll feel better, which did not happen. And I was just my body hurt so badly, and I was so exhausted, and like I just felt awful, and I did not listen to myself, and I got on that plane anyways. So, oops. But once I got there, Kittenish, Jess and I met up. We went and got boba at, Happy Lemon. We went to a Target, which was a total flop. And then we went back to the hotel and got burgers at, like, the hotel restaurant and chilled out. And then I went back to my hotel room, and I just, like, did not feel right. And I was like, I need to go home. Like, I was super anxious, like, really, like, out of character for me. And, like, I physically didn't feel well. Like my body hurt so much, and I was just like, okay, I need to go home. Like I came out here, I tried, I'm not ready for this yet, and like that's okay. And then on Friday night, after I was able to cancel all my like hotel room stuff and move my flight, and like I wasn't out the money and stuff, so it was totally fine. It was just, I flew out to San Francisco for a girls' night. So I went down and did some of the PlannerCon shopping that night. And then I went, at the hotel bar, I sat with Mandy and Grace and Jess, and we had some drinks and just hung out and chilled. And it was really, really fun. Just to like get caught up with people that I usually only am like DMing with to like see them in real life. So that was special. And I'm really glad I got to do that on Friday. And then Saturday, I still didn't sleep well. Friday night into Saturday, my body just hurt so much. And so, like, I was really glad, especially when I woke up on Saturday and still felt like crap. I'm like, yeah, I made the right decision to go home. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do PlannerCon like that. So I was just like over it. And then I went down and picked up my swag, but I didn't get my pen or my washi because they wouldn't give it to me, and I was really irritated about it. And then I tried emailing them afterwards, and they still won't give me my pen or my washi, so I did not get my PlannerCon washi or my PlannerCon pen, but whatever. I'm only a little salty about that. And then I flew home and sat next to like this really nice older guy in his 70s who like told me his whole life story and like how he met his wife and how in love he was with his wife, and it was like the sweetest thing ever. And so I was actually, and there was like no one sitting in between us, so we had like room to spread out, and I was like really glad that that was the flight I ended up going home on because he was like a really cool dude to sit next to. And I read a ton of Queen of Air and Darkness on the way home. And the flight on the way home was like hours shorter than the way there because the winds that made it take longer on the way there were at our back on the way home. So I got home in less than 4 hours from San Francisco to Cleveland, which was awesome. And then that night I was just like so excited to see Joe. And then I came home and unpacked and read in bed. And then Sunday I pretty much did absolutely nothing. I slept in, I watched YouTube, I chilled out. The only thing of note I did was I did my ring setup. And then the weekend banner is the red foil from Rose Colored Days. You can see that there. It's all shiny. So this is the finished spread, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Sorry, this week is sort of like a downer and I don't have like crazy cool PlannerCon stories. I was really hoping that that was what this week would be, but you know, I'm still learning what my limits are. And like I said, this was the start of like a really bad few weeks, so you will hear all about that in the upcoming Plan With Me's. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye, guys.